Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So great to have you guys coming back here. I'm loving it. The channel is doing so well. You know what? We just hit over 400. 21st December 2022, merely 2 months ago, we had 49 subscribers to the channel. Now it's 400. I do understand this is not fast growing channel, but for me, it's a miracle. For me, it is something that I truly treasure. It's the relationship that I have with myself and with you guys and with my hobby and with my passion, right? It is an area in life that we can always find improve on. And you know what? When you're making improvements on it, you feel very proud. Okay, guys. Now, let's get on with today's topic. The reason why I'm making this video right now is because this one, the SRPF81 baby tuna, just doing a close-up shot. This watch potentially is leaving me today. Okay, of course, I'm very thankful for the seller. Sold me on a very good deal because the watch is brand new. Okay, the watch is absolutely brand new. I had this watch in terms of contact, on my wrist. I tell you guys, I'm being absolutely with you, less than 5 minutes. I really didn't work that much at all. Okay. However, what I've done is after the unboxing video, I did just literally lay this watch peacefully on my desk, right next to my keyboard when I'm typing away, so I can look at it. Of course, the lighting condition is good. The reason why I've done that is when I unboxed it, of course, I had the impression and anticipation of this watch before it arrived, and when I unboxed it, I developed kind of feelings towards it and my first impression of it, and I love the watch. But after having the watch on my hand for a little while longer, I wasn't sure if this is the tuna for me. And here's the key word, for me. Because each of us having a different watch journey. I had those three watches. I had those three tunas before this. The reason why I put the trigger on this watch, of course, I want to put on the channel and make sure you guys can check it out, is I genuinely wanted to add another tuna to my collection. That's part of my motivation. But there's something not really working for me for this watch, and I'm sure that it will work for a lot of people's out there, but it's not for me. I'm gonna go through it. Okay, now this video is gonna be awesome for my audiences that is looking to buy your first tuna. And just get it focused right, but don't know which one to choose. You're looking at the current lineup of prospects. There are a lot of them. You don't know whether you should start some, right? I'm talking about the way that the retailers and ADs in our community nickname them, right? You don't know whether you should grab one of the latest iteration. This is the latest design, within the last year or so, just over a year, right? Divers 200. A lot more wearable in size, dimension, which we'll go through, right? You guys don't know, you should put trigger on this one, right? I know there's a lot of fanboys out there for this one already, right? That's why it's so popular. I literally put this watch on the Facebook Marketplace last night within an hour. Within 2 hours, 3 or 4 people came to me, and a couple of them already don't want to put the trigger. So I've got a guy coming and checking out today, right? So again, this is for the audience that not sure whether you want to pick up this one. Or, we're looking about 4 or 5 years ago they started, and again, this is still in production, which I believe this will be one of the very, very collectible items if they actually discontinue it, okay? SNE 498, right? So you can call this the street solar, okay? This is automatic, the 4R, right? This is the 4R that we know, right? And you're not sure whether you want to pick this up or the solar. Legend. I tell you what, guys, this is legendary. I'm loving this watch. This is not leaving for sure, okay? You're not sure when you want to pick this up. People call this baby tuna. People call this baby solar golden tuna, right? Or you are potentially looking at Facebook forums and watch forums, and they talk about, and Brandon Robs talked about it, right? And you can call this a generation 1 of baby tuna. That's how they nicknamed it, right? In my eyes, this is not a baby tuna after experiencing all kinds of tuna. By the way, I don't think there's another YouTube videos that you can find within a short period of time that has all those tunas right in front of you, shooting a clear, 4K videos, capturing all the details. So hoping that you can appreciate that if this is ever going to be informative to you. So So guys, right? I'm just continuing with my topic. Sorry, you're not sure, right? Should you pick one of those up? Because they're not, as far as I'm concerned, it's very hard to get brand new of those, right? Of course, it's limited. It's because in terms of supply and demand, surely Seiko will stop producing those old SRP639s. We'll call this yellowfin tuna, all right? Or should you go straight into the, not the holy grail, but for me it's a grail in terms of tuna. It's pretty much the peak of my tuna connection. I'm not buying a tuna that's better than this. In specs, of course, I can love other tuna designs and iterations more than these, but in terms of functionality, the durability, and just pure as a beast, nothing go beyond this for now. SPBN043. Okay, so this video is going to be very informative for my audience and guys out there that don't know which tuna you want to buy. You're just confused. I mean, they just came out. They still available. A lot of people seems to love the yellowfin, cold following, or go straight to the top. Okay, so this is going to be the video for you guys. I can guarantee it's going to be informative. Okay, now the first thing I like to talk about is, if you guys understand the history of tuna, which I don't really do, to be honest. I understand the surface of it, right? But the purpose of tuna was not to make it fashionable. The purpose of the design of the tuna back in the 70s, early 70s, is to make sure it is functional as a diver's 300. Can do not just air diving, but saturation diving. So for the pros folks out there that's doing this for work, as a purpose in the professional, discovering the things and scientific evidence in the ocean that they have to, make sure that do their job. Of course, when time goes on, I'm not sure what divers and professionals using nowadays. Surely not just a single watch, right? It's probably with heaps of computers and electronics, right? But that's what they were for. They were not for fashionable watches that people wear into the offices or, and things like that. They were designed for professionals. Let's just get it out of the way. I'm the real professionals, okay? So that's what they're for. But of course, as the brand's going on today, they have to develop the brand in a very, diversified way to make sure they capture all customers within the same tuna umbrella. That's why you have all these. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to talk about, right? So you got to understand that. The second thing I like to talk about is if you like the tuna, and if you got money that you can commit it to buying one tuna and having your collection, my recommendation is go straight to the top. SPBN043. The SPBN line, it seems, is the Tuna Professional MM300 line. Of course, right? If you guys start searching SPBN series of tunas, you will find Bruce Williams channels covering, all the way back to SPBN031, I believe. The many, right? Brandon Robs, Federico Talking Watches, the time teller, right? They're all big fans of SPBN 031, and that was in production. It's got to be 16 years ago, right? That was the old generation of tuna in these particular specs, same 7C movements, just with a normal Hardlex crystal that was dome on the top, and of course without the hard coating, I believe, or perhaps it was, but with the Marine Master dials on the dial instead of Perspex, instead of the Perspex logo, right? This is a new version, came out around 2 years ago, probably just over 2 years ago, around that COVID time. But they removed the Marine Master and able to include this into the Perspex line. Of course, we know that's going to be the way, right? Even the MM300, the 8L, they are on the Perspex line. So we know this is going to happen anyway. But in the same time, they've done a great job, right? They've done a great job. They've given us what we asked for, sapphire crystal. It looks flat, but it's actually domed underneath. So instead of giving us a top domed thing, they've given us an under domed. Not bad at all, guys, right? Because truly what we wanted is we want to achieve that bit of mystery, that bit of reflective material when we look at the dial, right? But at the same time, very functional, because it's going to be impossible to scratch that dial now. And plus, it's a sapphire crystal. Guys, just look how legible it is from any distance, right? The ability to tell time on this watch is incredible. Okay, so that's, again, reflecting back what I said. If you got about $1,000, the watch came originally on a silicon strap, really good silicon strap, but I just bought. Of course, you know I'm a big Uncle Straps fan, so I bought this President 22 straight end link, President style for this watch. Guys, this is made in heaven, okay? Made in heaven. So you've got $1,000 that you can spend. Granted, you love the tuna. Granted, the watch is not leaving your collection. And if you're selling it in the current market, you probably take a little bit of hit because you're buying a brand new. You're looking at about maybe 1,100, 1,200, of course, right? It depends on where you're buying. But if you flip it straight away, you're not going to get that price. You probably get, I've seen it around 850, 900. So my recommendation, guys, MM300, it's got the legendary 7C quartz movement that was, speaking of movements, guys, accuracy. I'm not lying. Around the first or the last week of October 2022, I've adjusted the time on this. I've checked it a couple of days ago. So over duration of 3 months, 90 days, almost 100 days, it lost half a second. Within a second. I couldn't even tell whether that's a second or not. It's got to be a half a second or sort of quarter of a second that has gone slower. So, guys, unbelievable watch, okay, guys, unbelievable. You've got $1,000, you can commit to the brands, you can commit to the line, you can commit to the style, and you wanted something to on your wrist that's truly iconic. They're great, but don't buy them. Buy this. Okay, that's my point number one. Point number two is, if you are a big fan of the design of the tuna, and you understand you want to be part of it, but you don't have the money, or you don't want a quartz, not a 7C quartz, of course. The more you develop and you understand the quartz movement, probably the better you want it, because the 7C movement was designed for this. Think about how cool is that? A group of engineers and watchmakers came together, probably after a lunch table, after a lunch meetup, and they go, hang on a second, the bosses just told us, the ocean explorers just told us, the company, that we need to develop a quartz movement that can sustain all kinds of pressure, the extreme of the world. And we need to come out with a watch design that can be usable, wearable. We don't know what's going to look like, but you know what, guys, let's give it a go. We'll design the shape of it. We'll come out with the brand new movements. And you know what? Those people, they're going to be in their 80s now. Probably some of them already passed away, no longer on the planet. But knowing their work is still carrying on the current lineup of the brand. I mean, how legendary is that? It's incredible, right? Now, again, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I got carried away with myself again. If you don't want to spend $1,000 on this, you wanted the brand, you wanted the shape. Of course, you're not buying those copycats out there, right? What should you buy? I don't have $1,000. I don't want to wear something as iconic as this as for now, of course. I just want to give you wrist shot with this SBBN 043 on my wrist. But I want to wear one of this, right? I'm not ready yet. I will be there. My wrist is 7 inches, by the way, right? Many of you already know. I'm not ready for this. Okay, I understand. Maybe one day I'll get to the MM300, the AL, the Marine Master monoblock, or the Quartz 7C, the Tuna. I know we'll get there, but it's not there yet. So we're gonna put this out. Okay, we're gonna leave it out. Which of the three should I get? They're still available. In terms of prices, of course, some folks are already asking ridiculous for this, right? Don't pay that, right? Between $300 to $350 US, between $250 to $300 US, and this goes with brand new, about $500. You probably can get used. I'm just guessing between $350 to $400. So between $250 to $400, between $250 to $400. So this is $1,000 or $900. Okay, between $350 to $450 is going to cover all of them. And your question is, Felix, which one should I buy? I'm going to give you mine two cents again, based on the experience that I have them all, right? You go find another YouTube video that have all 4 tunas exactly like those in different generations of lineup. Of course, the proper MM300, the Solar, the first generation of the baby tuna, and the current line. You go find one. It's impossible. I haven't found one yet. That's what I'm making right now for you guys, all right? So which one should you buy? With hands on my heart, if you ask me, I got to pick one baby tuna or tuna style watch that is going to serve all my purposes, be stylish, have that original design, but at the same time, it's going to be accurate to tell time, very convenient in my rotation. I'm confidently going to pick up any day of the week, and I'm going to enjoy the traditional tuna heritage. Guys, it takes me half a second. It takes me half a second to come to a conclusion. If you're that guy, you buy this. And you might ask, Felix, this is, of course, sorry guys, the original watch came on, I just want to give you guys the transparency. The original SNE 498, you guys look online, came with the rubber strap, okay, with the gold buckle, very similar to the golden turtle SRPC 44, right? Very similar strap. So, but again, I've got this 22 on a sort of mesh, gold mesh. I think look really nice, okay? So back to what I was saying. You got Felix, it's a solar. I don't like solar. The brand is all about automatic and improvements on the accuracy automatic, mechanics, all that kind of stuff. Guys, that's secondary. When you already sacrifice the originality of watches like this, you're already making a sacrifice, guys. Because one day you will get there. But for now, this watch will give you everything you need. Why? Guys, if you look it up, you Google Golden Tuna, one of the watch in the early 70s. I think that came most of the quartz movements, although I couldn't remember. But extremely similar to this. This is almost make this watch as a reissue, of course in a different format, different scales, but borrow the main spirit of that watch. You want to buy watches that is faithful to some of the previous generations. Of course, not saying they're the only ones to buy, but if you're only buying one, you're buying one, you flip, you buy another one, you want to start with there, because that's going to give you the spirit, the heritage, and the design cues of the past. All right, so from a design perspective, none of those can get anywhere close to this, in my eyes. Secondly, movement. I understand this is not automatic, solar, but guys, okay, I adjust them exactly the same time. I remember that. Again, 100 days gone past. If we're using this is the correct time, atomic clock, this is running about 2 seconds faster. This is 250. This is $1,000. Over the same period of time, 2 seconds faster. If you leave them on for a year, it will be within half a minute faster. And this watch has been with me for the last 100 days. It's one of the more appearances on my wrist. I've took it traveling. It went to the ocean. We built sandcastles with it. We played slides in the park. Went up, down, gravity, impact, you name it. I played a bit of tennis, basketball with it. You name it. So 2 seconds faster within the same period of time as the SPBM. Over a year, it's going to be 30 seconds faster, of course, right? The specs is up to 15 seconds faster per month. As you know, Seikos, right? They always under promise and over deliver. So from design perspective, 10 out of 10 for me. From a movement perspective, 11 out of 10. Accuracy, right? And you know what? The solar, it gets charged within very short period of time. Can last you up to, I don't know what the menus is. I never look at the menus, right? Between 6 to 12 months. So if you're a special force, if you're going through jungles, if you go hunting, right? You want a watch that has every durability that it has. Divers 200. I think about it, right? The SLA, I was looking to actually put that trigger last Christmas. Think about this, guys. I'll just give you one thing to think about. Seiko releases, the 62 mass, more premium line, more sort of faithful to original, of course, was the AL 35 specs. You call that SL8043. That is the MM200. That is a diverse one. So from a diverse watch's capability perspective, that watch cost $5,000, and this costs you $200. That costs, well, in shoe prices maybe $4,000. I don't know, right? Because I gotta do some conversion. But this watch costs 1/20th of that watch. And from a diverse perspective, they're the same. Think about that, right? So from a durability perspective, it ticks all the boxes. Design 10 out of 10. Solar movements, usability 10 out of 10. And the loom, just from that durability and reliability in the wild, the loom is mesmerizing. Green loom, but impactful. Full of it. Of course, not as good, guys. I understand you want to see this, right? I just want to get them together. Not as of course, right? This is the king in looms, right? Not as good as this, of course, right? But not bad at all. Plus, you've got that very unique 0 to 15 bezel loomed beauty, right? Loom's good, accuracy is good, design's unbelievable. I love how they framed the 4 o'clock date. I mean, looking at 4 o'clock, the 4:30 date on this, you tell me which one you prefer. I don't mind this, but they've done the right design for this one. Okay, bezel is, instead of 120, it is 60 clicks. Guys, just listen to this. Doesn't line up properly. I know, guys, right? Probably have a click off. So alignment is about half a click off. Yeah, so that's a bit disappointing. It will be very perfect if that lines up. Of course, you can also notice the second hand doesn't tick the markers, but it missed a little bit, right? It missed a little bit. Common to see in the quartz watches. No issues at all. If you guys know what I'm talking about. If that stress you out, then yeah, that's not a topic to itself. All right. So from the second part of my audience, if you're looking, not buying this SPBN, maybe one day you will, you want to pick another tuna that inspires you, just go straight to this. All right. Of course, I'm going to go through them too very quickly, but go straight to this. Okay. Beautiful. S&E 498. You're not leaving my collection, and I'll take you every time when I go travel. Okay. Now, you guys Seiko fanboys out there, right? I'm new to the hobby, but the moments you develop your affection and your love for the tuna, you would learn the nickname of baby tuna. And if you go through the nickname of baby tunas online, within half a minute you will come up across colorway as this. Introduced SRP81 yellowfin tuna. Guys, I understand it's the community and the fanboys nickname the Seiko watches, but tell me, what would that person or that group of people or whoever was thinking when they nicknamed this watch? How is this a baby tuna, guys? Think about it. Just rewind the time 10 decades ago when this watch was just coming on the market. Who gave this name a baby tuna? I don't understand. Right? So from a size perspective, it's the same, if not bigger, than the original tuna, the MM300 designs. Okay? But the reason why this one has a cult following is because, of course, I think people name this baby tuna as in logically, you will probably get in one of those tuna before you commit to one of these. So you call this a baby and you call this the real. You get the baby first. If you like the baby, you buy the... I was going to say you buy the adult, so you buy the junior, you buy the senior, whatever you want to call it, right? I think from that logics, yes, you can call this baby tuna. Now, this watch stands out. Of course, there are many colorways of this. There's black one, there's yellow one, there's whole heaps of others, right? There's a butterfly yellow dial. Oh, man, I missed the opportunity to buy that. I had a chance to buy that, sealed the deal about $700 6 months ago. You couldn't find one now. The whole thing is yellow. All right, I forgot. No. I love that watch. If I ever have a chance, maybe I'll sell this to get that. If I ever have a chance, because now they're going even more nuts, right? Okay, now, what makes this watch stand out is because this borrowed the handsets very similar to the Monsters. Indices very similar design, not the same as the Monster Generation 1, 3, of course, 4. From the small subdial of numbers, very similar to a lot of, again, there's so many watches that they produce, right? But in my experiences, very similar to the Seiko 5 Monsters. You got that 40, 50, 55, that would be a 510, right? You've got that. So it's a hybrid of Baby 5 Monsters, and Tuna shrouded design. So it's a hybrid watch of all. I truly believe that they did a great job of bringing different ideas onto the table, and they executed well enough. Because they didn't want to make this watch small. They wanted to make this watch large to have its presence in their lineup. And they know only the hardcore fan and the people who love the design of it will purchase it. And when they do purchase it, it will become a great relationship, because then the buyers will be able to pick up all the little intrinsic designs of the tuna, of the Monster, and then potentially the customers and the buyers of this watch would then go into different directions. You bought this watch first, you go, wow, I like that handset. Then they will look at the Monster, they will buy a Monster. People who bought this because of the strap, they go, wow, amazing design, feels like a tank. I'm gonna look into tuna, and then they bought a tuna. So this is the entry point that the buyers then gets inspired and start looking at different directions for the Seiko. I truly believe that's what the watchmaker wanted to do, to inspire buyers. So buyers will buy more watches, different lineups. The color wave, that 0 to 15 markers of yellow, and that yellow hands and so that tip on the second hands is the more iconic aspect of the watch. I'm loving it. Without that yellow, if this watch, I understand the model name is SRP033, I could be wrong, but there's all black version. Again, a lot of people loving it, but for me, I wouldn't buy that watch. I would only buy a baby tuna of this generation of 2 watches. I understand there's still a couple of JDMs. There was one of icy dial and a gradient blue dial. They're all great watches, believe me, they're fancy. But personally, I will only buy this or that whole yellow dial butterfly fish. That's the only 2 I would invest. Sorry, not invest, right? Because you can invest if you get them at a good price. You won't lose too much money on it. But that's it. But look, not the cons, right? I'm gonna put on my wrist. You've seen plenty of wrist shop of this watch, right? But so on wrist, it wears big, all right? It wears big. Feels like it's even bigger than the quartz. Feels like a tank, guys. Guys like this feeling, or you have a big wrist. Again, if you're back to my audience that talk about the people, and you guys don't want to buy this, you want to buy one of those baby or entry-level tunas, and you've got a 7.5, 8-inch wrist, you buy this. You can buy this. You don't have to buy this because it will be too small. And plus, if you don't want a solar, you want automatic, you buy this. You can't go wrong. Okay? You can't go wrong. But for me, I want that, as I talk about, because design, because solar, and all of that kind of stuff. From accuracy perspective, this 4 is brilliant. Not losing a second over a day. I don't know what's going on with this. It's as accurate as a Kosk. I bought this from a fellow subscriber, I believe. He's got to be subscribed to the channel now. But tremendous 4 value in terms of movement accuracy. Okay, stands out from the crowd. All right, another few decades on, surely they're not making this no more. I'm hoping they don't. This watch will be iconic designs. Already is. Yellowfish, right? And guys, that's the thing. Just before I talk about this in the last couple of minutes, I just want to give you another tip. If you want to buy Seikos as a collector or invest, what do you want to do with it? Try to buy watches with the nicknames. Golden Tuna, Yellowfin, Belluna, right? This is the Belluna, okay? You want to buy the watches with nicknames, naturally it's going to attract more attention in the long term. Okay, now, to the last one, okay? To the last one. So Seiko made all this, all right? Let's just put it out of the picture. Seiko made all this and they're happy with it. They're selling a lot of them. And of course, right? A company can never ever rest it on the laurels. They want to do more. They want to do more for their customers. And they will go, okay, this is still going to be there. The SPBN is going to be fine. We don't need to change anything. We had a great run, 6 years. That's why they don't, have you guys paid attention? They're actually selling a lot more solar powered divers now on the prospects. So the solar selling great. This is selling great. This is probably too big for most of the guys out there, right? How can we make it small? How can we make it small to attract more buyers? More modernized designs, not out of the box as crazy as a monster. I call this a monster tuna. They thought about it, they think about it, they keep reinventing the design room, making prospects, prototypes, and after a whole much of a hard work, came along with this. Couple things straight away in my eyes. Instead of using, of course, this is the handset, or pretty much the handsets of tuna. Instead of using the pointy, guys, you see, in terms of handset, how similar are those two? Amazing, right? Amazing. Of course, different. Instead of making tremendous designs with those, bizarre monster hands, all that kind of stuff, our customers telling us they like platoon hands. They like the 62 mass hands. So the hands are sorted. We try the 62 mass hand, and it looks elegant, right? From indices perspective, they don't like the round indices. It's too toolish, and the first generation of baby monsters, the baby tunas, they are two monsters like. Let's bind them all together, make something more elegant like this. There you go. There you go. Indices like that, right? It's square shaped. Very elegant. So the handset sorted, the indices sorted, the size, just look at it, right? First generation of baby tuna, second generation baby tuna, not in the same watch, guys, not in the same league. It's not even in the same league, all right? This has got to be, it feels like half of the watch, to be upfront with you guys. This looks small and we're small. Looks small. Isn't it like half of the watch? Seriously, not even in the same league in terms of size. Of course, you make a decision there, right? So I'm just trying to go through their mindset when they sort of design the watch. And this is why I look at it, my experience with the brand, right? So size, they're trimming down. So this is 47, this is 46, 47, this is about 44 in terms of lug to lug. So for the new lug to lug, they made it, just let me get it right? 44, but very, only a thickness on the 13. And I think the most tremendous thing they've done to this watch in terms of design is they've shortened the lug on the 44 as well. So lug to lug is almost identical to diameter, just on the 44. I'm just bringing this tune up, which I recommended. Which one looks smaller? This one looks smaller. Which one looks more slim design? This one does. Okay, so they've really done a lot of work to trim it down, right? Credits to them. Great job. Okay, very skinny in terms of design. They slimmed down the whole thing, and they've also trimmed down the size of the lug. Instead of 22, 22, 22, they're trimming down to 20 millimeters. Brand new series of very soft silicone material. Well done. Good job. In terms of shroud design, there's nothing going wrong with it. They just literally have to respec the shroud to fit the diameter. Right? You guys look at it, right? In terms of bezel, they've improved that as well. They made it very easy to grip. You can see that's the old design. That's the old design of the grip, right? Of the gears. But the new one is even more longer, got that sort of like teeth looking, right? Very deep, extremely grippy. And the bezel sounds excellent, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm telling you guys, the bezel is great. I've also appreciate the engraved on the bezel, right? That's engraved. This is all engraved. This is not printed on. Of course, it looks like polished, but look how deep each cut is on this bezel. It's quite tremendous. The machinery that work on this bezel are fantastic. I just want to give you guys another close look up. All right, fantastic. So easy to grip. It sounds fantastic. Very tight, extremely accurate. This is 120. It's 120 click bezels, right? Loom, they've done a good job as well. It's blue, right? I just give it a bit more light on it. It's blue instead of green. Very stylish. So I think from a company perspective, in terms of how they executed their designs with a clear intention, I think they've done it well. I think they've done it well from a business standpoint. If this is my first tuna, I'll be keeping it because it tick all the boxes for young buyers. It tick every single boxes for you guys. You get inspiration. You know what it looks like. It wears on the wrist like a, of course, right? Again, if this is my first tuna, I would have loved it because I love how small it is. It wears, look, this is on my 7-inch wrist. Because how short the lug is, of course, you can get another 20-minute bracelet on it. Probably, well, you have to go to a straight end link. It looks fantastic. Compact, small, stylish, fit the trend instead of making a 44 millimeter watch and wear it like a 50. They made a 43, 44 millimeter diameter watch and wears like 40. They've done it. They actually everything wow. The dial looks amazing. Of course, they never disappoint with the dial. And it ticks all the boxes. But I'm considering selling it out of 4. Why? For me, there's one thing I have to get from Tuna is legibility of its time reading. All tunas, a couple of reasons. This is the first reason. Is you look how accurately that pointy of the minute hand you can tell straight away what time is it, right? Because sometimes I do things that requires accurate time telling. Look, every one of them, the pointy hourly hand, and even on these, what I recommend the most, probably the SNE 49. Look, pointy hourly hand, okay? Very toolish, very functional. I'm not saying the baton hand style is wrong, but I can't tell the time. I understand you work on the 62 mass, and that's even a smaller diameter. Mine's PB147. But from a distance, the baton hands don't work for me. I don't know why, guys. I understand it's very stylish. But because maybe I'm too, I'm loving those hands too much, the baton hands do not work for me on the Tuna. I'm not disappointed. I'm just saying it's not working for me. It might work for you, but the hand design for me is too square. You see that square shape of the hourly hands, square shape of the indices of the minutes hands. They're too much of the same thing on the same dial. And plus, the dial is small because how they design the overall diameter of the dial is small. The bezel is relatively large. It makes the whole hands and indices relationship even more intense. That's number one. And number two is just purely, to be honest, it's very personal. The second thing is very personal as well, because I got used to with all the other tunas. I'm putting this on again, guys. All right, this just wears too small. It's just too small for me. All right, guys, and you can see it again. You're saying, Felix, you're saying this is small, but I'm sure you guys seen, my subscribers of the channel, you've seen plenty of my solar tuna on my wrist, of all the shorts videos that I uploaded, of course, and this as well. You will say this is compact as well, but this works better. I don't know why. I just prefer the shape of this design much more than this one here. But again, I'm not disappointed. I'm just saying it will have to move on with this because I don't think those intrinsic things that sort of really fits the way I like to have things in my collection. But again, I'm pretty sure the new buyers will enjoy this, and I wish you best of luck. Okay, guys. Again, all terrific tuna designs. To conclude the whole thing off, if you're still here today after 37 minutes, I appreciate you. And you must be a Seiko and tuna-holic, right? Tuna-holic. So hopefully this video have given you the clarity of all different designs across different specs and generation of tunas. And I hope you guys really benefit from the details and sort of the specs and all that kind of stuff that is going to be informative when you're buying or considering adding to your collection. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with me. I hope you have a great time no matter where you are, what you do, and I'll see you again in the next video. Okay, guys? Bye-bye for now.